Thank you for joining me. So I invite you to take your seat. As you're sitting down on your cushion or your chair, you can, first of all, close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or you can have them slightly open with a soft gaze. And I just want to bring your attention to the base of your spine. Can you picture the very bottom of your spine? And in the bottom of your spine, you have these two bones of your pelvis called the sit bones. See if you can find those two bones, those two contact points on your seat. And from those two sit bones, see if you can send energy down into whatever is holding you, maybe a cushion, the ground, and then go deeper. What is below that? Is it dirt, or is it another floor? Maybe you're on the second floor. Maybe it's the structure of your house that's supporting you. And then going deeper than that, going deeper into the earth. Seeing if you can take your awareness all the way down to the center of the earth, connected to your sit bones. Seeing how the earth is indeed supporting you. And then I'd like you to bring your attention back up from the center of the earth, coming up, coming up, coming up, coming all the way up until it meets your body, and then it rises up, up, and then it leaves the center of your head, through the ceiling of your home, to the clouds, to the atmosphere of the earth, and perhaps leaving the atmosphere of the earth. Sensing how this upward energy creates a strong spine, a lift of your spine, as simultaneously that you're grounded into the earth. So with this form, with this body being relaxed, with a strong spine, I just want you to imagine your body as being the quality of water today. Keeping your spine strong, but the rest of your body, water. Maybe you can call up an image in your mind of water. Can you make your hands have the quality of a ripple of water? How about your chest? All the molecules and atoms that make up water. See if you can embody that sense in your legs, in your lower back, in your upper back, your neck, your shoulders, your head, your feet. Your container of water. Now, as you breathe in and out without controlling it, not controlling it, just letting yourself breathe normally, I want you to imagine the ebb and flow of water on the beach, the shore. So when you're breathing in, the water ebbs into the ocean, and then when you breathe out, it flows onto the earth, onto the beach. Breathing in, ebbing, breathing out, flowing. Breathing in, ebbing, breathing out, flowing out. Now I want you to let go of any expectations you might have of this 15 minutes we have together. Let go of how you're supposed to be feeling, of what you're supposed to be feeling towards the end. And if you don't feel that way, then you've done something wrong or anything along those lines. You can let that go. We're going to explore this idea of impulses today. So let's pay attention just for a few moments to your in-breath. When you breathe in, right before you breathe in, can you notice that impulse to breathe in? Just breathe in at your own pace. And when you breathe out, notice, can you sense the impulse of the need to breathe out? You don't have to hold your breath. You don't have to overthink it or contract. Just gently, lightly noticing the impulses of the in and out breath. Just continue to do this. Inevitably, thoughts will probably jump out because that's what the mind does. And when it does, you can just notice, what is that thought about? Is there an impulse there? Is there an impulse embedded in that thought? An impulse to do something? Maybe there's planning involved. And then when you notice that, just come back to your breath, the ebb and flow, the impulse to breathe in, the impulse to breathe out. Bringing your attention to your body. Are there any impulses that may be circulating in your body that you are aware of without acting on them, unless you really have to, like a scratch or something? But if you do have like a little itchy area, for example, see if you just notice the sensation of the impulse to scratch. Or maybe it's the impulse to move a little bit, to adjust your seat. Noticing the impulse. Coming back to your breath in and out as your anchor. Perhaps other thoughts, other distractions come in form of impulses for desires to act on, desires. Maybe you're hungry. You want to fix yourself a sandwich after this, that impulse. Maybe you want to impress someone. What does that impulse feel like? Maybe you want to be happy or peaceful. What is that impulse? What does that impulse feel like in your body? Where do you feel that? Sometimes I struggle with checking social media too much. I notice the impulse of wanting to grab my phone and checking it. What does that feel like? Keeping a friendly attitude. We're not here to criticize ourselves, but always here to cradle ourselves with friendliness and compassion. Just noticing, just noticing. Perhaps thoughts come up of avoidance, impulses to avoid something or to run away from something. Just notice what that feels like in your body. Maybe it's something that has to do with a relationship or just a relationship to yourself. Just noticing what that feels like in your body. And I invite you, if you need, to take that and bring it to your heart center and cradle it with some tenderness so it's nurtured. Noticing how these impulses arise and then they fall away. They come up and then they leave, they vanish. The impulse, no matter how intense it might be in the moment, it eventually falls away. It may come up again, but in the moment, it always comes back, comes up and falls away like the waves of an ocean. So come back to this image of yourself as water. Invite yourself to picture yourself as the body of the ocean that creates these waves, these forms of the rising impulses and the vanishing impulses. Just knowing that it comes and goes, and you can just rest your awareness now in the boundless sense of you, the ocean, the sense of open awareness. And thank you for joining me to give yourself a few moments this evening to return to yourself, to your essence, And just thank yourself for showing up. And when you're ready, you can gently move the tips of your fingers and your toes, and maybe you can roll your shoulders. And you can flutter your eyes open and bring your awareness back into your surroundings. Not that you ever left. Hands together at heart center. Thank you so much. It's lovely to see your faces and to share this practice with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.